Hey everyone, Positron checking out Cyber Shadow. This is a game published by Yacht Club. Probably best know for, you see the big Positron play thing, I'll explain that in a second. You probably best know for Shovel Knight. They are publishing as well, and they are publishing this game by Mechanical Head Game called Cyber Shadow. Is a Ninja Gaiden-like, but I'll also say it's actually mixed with a little bit of Mega Man, and I'll talk about that. I'm actually playing this on Game Pass. It is on Game Pass, so if you've got Game Pass on PC or presumably, I believe, Xbox, it is on there as part of your subscription, which is cool. That's how I got it, and I've put some, looks like a little over an hour into it. It says I'm about 40%. I don't know if that's accurate. I feel like I'm a little under 40%. But I'll start a new game here, and we'll get into it. I would say the game is pretty difficult. Not from what I've hit so far, but I can definitely see hints where it's going to get quite difficult later. As far as I see, there's no selectable difficulty, though there may be an unlockable hard mode. And I believe also that, in my opinion, it's got a little bit of its own adjustable difficulty. And I'll talk about that a little more too as we get there. So you get a little bit of the backstory. Most of the backstory is told in kind of these Ninja Gaiden-esque cutscenes, as well as some dialogue bits and such that you'll see. Yeah, bad things happen in this world. This is us. We can't go left. This is our buddy. It's great to see you within operational specification. Mission got a lot more urgent. Master is in desperate need of your help. A lot has happened since the explosion. I'll fill you in as details as we go. This is Legion. Aid to our master. For curiosity's sake, you can attack Legion later, and you can destroy him, but it's not permanent. I was concerned about that originally, because I accidentally hit him and then it was like, I wonder what happens. So these here are our checkpoints. It says you're weakened by essence deprivation. Vital systems can't hold out for long. You're on borrowed time. To make matters worse, I'm pretty sure your awakening alerted Dr. Progen. Should keep you moving. Dr. Progen is kind of our villain here. Stasis chambers are offline. Security status compromised. Yeah, so our basic movements, we can jump, we can run, we can slash. You will unlock a fair amount of abilities as time goes on. Subject beta released, last recorded status health critical, essence level 37%. There's some switches we can hit. And things will ramp up very quickly once we're out of this little tutorial segment. Yeah, so this is where I see a little bit of Mega Man. There is this kind of Wily Tower or Wily Castle-esque map, and you can actually revisit levels to discover more stuff as you go on. There are health upgrades, there are SP upgrades. And away we go. You'll notice I'm not ducking to hit any of these things. You actually can't duck. And while there are low enemies, they're never too low that you can't hit them, which is nice. You'll see we're picking up, we're picking up these little crystals. These are a form of currency. They actually don't come into play until maybe like stage 2 or 3. So I'll, if nothing else, I'll at least load up my other save and show off how that works. Now, I've probably played through this level 5 or 6 times. So I kind of know what to expect. My first time through here was not quite as smooth. Let's just say that. This time might not be that smooth either. Dr. Progen is holding our clan captain. He's siphoning their power. Barely reached you in time. Good thing they didn't get you. One of our 4 companions is nearby. Please go meet them. Okay. And it should go without saying that the graphical style is awesome. A little hidden wall there, the power-up. Power-ups work until you take 3 hits. But yeah, the pixel art style here is phenomenal. The soundtrack is pretty awesome. I've seen complaints that the soundtrack is repetitive, and I think part of that is based on usually when you go to a different part of a level, there's kind of a remix of the track, so you're kind of in the same theme. I think that's kind of a benefit, honestly, not a detractor. Yeah, watch out for these steam jets. Something I think is very interesting too is there's the patterns of some of these enemies are very reminiscent of other games. I think that's intentional too. So I gotta be a little careful here. There we go. Now there's actually a hidden wall here. I'll pick up this container. So this is basically a heart container. That's kind of a heart piece. Once we fill that up, we will get a full heart container, and we will get increased health. Now the way the structure works in terms of lives and things like that, there are no lives, there are unlimited respawns, essentially, and you will always respawn at the last checkpoint you crossed. Now the other benefit of that is that those checkpoints can be upgraded, spending the currency. Now we won't see that in this level, as it doesn't come into play until, I believe, at least level 2. But that is something that is, I think, a really strong benefit, and that's why I feel like it has a little bit of adjustable difficulty. Because just playing normally, if you don't die, you're not going to have enough currency to upgrade every single one of those. But kind of as you go through and maybe lose a life here and there. Alright, we got our first boss. More of a mini boss, maybe. But yeah, as you go through and lose lives and retread areas, you gather more of that currency. But there are optional challenges as well. I know for a fact that there's an achievement at least for getting to the Smasher without killing a single enemy, which seems insane. Alright, this will be a full health upgrade. Gives us a nice refill. Now this was an example of a block. I can't open this yet. In fact, I can't even open this in my other file as well. Not quite sure what opens that yet. There's another one of those doors here. So you can hear that this is kind of the same, it's a remix of the outside theme. I think that's where some people are saying it's repetitive, but I like it. I've been through 3 levels so far in my main file. And I can say that the soundtrack in every level has been fantastic. Oh dear. We might see a death in this level, which would be a little embarrassing, but we'll see what happens. Something else I think is really cool is that there are a lot of ways to kill enemies. And by that I mean that some enemies they might initially seem to be very difficult, have a secret to them. Now I don't think these bugs particularly have one. Well, I guess if you drop them from high enough, they will die. So I actually didn't know that. Yeah, like that. That's actually really interesting. I did not know that. There's another enemy in the second level that's very, very hardy. Has a little secret passage here with an upgrade in it. This is a pretty tough upgrade to get, actually, at this point. Now, if I fall on those spikes, that is a death. There we go. Get another heart piece. In fact, I'll just show that. Jump on spikes, you die. Instantly respawn at your last location. Very nice. It gives you mostly full health. And but no SP. But again, that is something that is upgradable per checkpoint. Now there are some nasty spots, like that enemy can very easily knock you into a pit. I haven't been particularly frustrated by deaths in the game, and I think really that's just a matter of the fact that your respawn is so fast. The checkpoints are relatively frequent that I don't feel like I'm losing a lot of time when I die. So it doesn't really feel insurmountable. Ooh, that's... And sometimes you just make stupid mistakes. I'm gonna wait for this steam path to go again. Something that also is interesting to note is that you always get knocked backwards. So there is some interesting manipulation to be done about how you get knocked back when you get hit. You can certainly use that to your advantage. I've definitely done some accidental speedrun strats in that I took a hit but turned just before I was going to get hit and boosted through an enemy. Whoops. I don't believe I've seen any enemies other than these turrets that are infinite respawn yet. So, to some extent, you can just play cautiously as well. Alright, we meet someone here and we have a bit of an issue going on. They've drained all of our life. We've sprung a leak. Yeah, it doesn't seem good. You don't look so good. Your condition is worsening. Hope you'll stabilize soon. We can't afford to lose you now. Master needs you to be at full strength. Exactly what has happened there? I'm not sure. I had to show it off. Yeah, I'm not totally sure what's going on there, but it's not good. Alright. Here's our first real boss. Shadow is weak as ever. And you even managed to survive? Well, it's no matter. Without your powers, you'll soon fade into the ethos. Maybe all that awaits you is the eternal void. Alright, so this is our first real boss here. Now he actually has a trick. You can hit him from behind, and he will not turn around. But there is a small penalty to that. I'm actually kind of in a bad spot here. Here we go. Be a little more careful. Bosses, from what I've seen so far, are all very pattern based, which is another kind of Mega Man aspect of it, Ninja Gaiden, really. Because if you play carefully, recognize patterns, you can get through all these fights. Not to say that there's not an element of skill involved. A win without honor, hardly a victory. Don't know what our master saw in you, but could not have been a spine. Even the trainees of our clan had enough guts to avoid backstabbing. I'm assuming that if you killed him without doing that, there would be different dialogue there. I haven't done it myself, to be honest, because it's pretty tough. We find one of our clan members. The clan has been captured. Might be hope for the others. Maybe my power can help. We get our first power, so now we can throw shurikens. Uses 1 SP to do so, like so. And this you'll see we can go back to the map. We can go to different areas, which is neat. It's a neat feature. So I'll show off real quick my save file here. I don't want to, spoil much, but I will show maybe a little bit of Area 2. And I just want to at least show off a couple of the powers. So it immediately trains you how to use. So this is an enemy that this enemy takes a ton of hits, right? And when I came here through the first time, I killed every single one that way. And I was like, man, this seems just brutal, right? But there's a trick to that. You notice they have that big tank on their back? Well, if you hit it, it explodes and instantly kills them. And there's a lot of stuff like that in the game. I think it's really cool. Now I haven't gotten all the treasure here, so there's some stuff that will look like it's just empty space. It is not empty space, it's just, I've already gotten the treasures. Oh boy. Now that's not to say that some of these areas aren't still difficult once you've already beaten them. There's a lot of going on here. I got crushed by a block. Does this one have... Yeah, so that's automatic repair online means whenever we touch that, whenever we touch that checkpoint, we'll get a health refill. You'll see too, I have quite a bit of health and SP at this point compared to the start. Now that being said, some enemies do start hitting for multiple bars, as it were. You should also know you can avoid those eggs entirely and not have to deal with that, which is probably what I should be doing. I want to get this. There we go, yeah, it's the slash, extra slash power up. Gives you a little more range. Probably just avoid this. Well, to some extent I would like to have... Yeah, I want to get to one that's got more stuff than just the automatic repair. I've already solved this little puzzle, so we can go through this section. But that beam will kill me, so I gotta be a little careful about that. And as you get more power-ups, of course, you get a lot more ways to deal with things, which is neat. Also checking for hidden walls. Usually they're pretty obvious, but not always. I don't really want to deal with that guy. Yeah, there we go. You do need to be careful about drops. You don't want to get yourself caught falling into spikes. Here we go. So here's one of them. So now I've bought all of these. So now every time I come to this checkpoint, it'll give me full HP, full SP, and a power up. And that's one of those things that I feel like, you know, if you're struggling with the boss, you can always farm until you get this. So you get a little bit extra bonus going into the fight every time, things like that. And I've already done this fight, of course. It's actually a hidden spot here. Now, I don't know if there's a stage exit. I don't think there is. I think I actually have to make it through the stage. Oh boy. That's what happens when you mess with beehives, kids. But yeah, so this is Cyber Shadow. I think it's super cool. Will I be able to beat this game? That's a damn good question. But if you like classic run and slash games, I could totally recommend this. Again, it's on Game Pass, so if you got a Game Pass subscription, go for it. This is not the way to deal with this, by the way. Otherwise, it is on Steam, I know, for 20 bucks. I imagine that's the same price on consoles. You know what, let's use this to get in there. Why am I still going? I don't know. Look, the game is just fun. It just feels real good to play. The controls are super tight. And I'm overall very impressed by what they've done with it. And I'm glad to see that Yacht Club decided to go into this publishing thing. Really kind of curious to see what other kind of titles that they'll back in the future. There's a good spot for me to pause here. But yeah, so that's Cyber Shadow. If you're interested, I'll have a link in the description below. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Click like, helps a bunch. Subscribe for more stuff like this. I'll see you soon.